All right, dope. We're back in it. You love to see it. You love to see it. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta reboot one thing. Let's do this, baby. Let's do it. All right. So you guys, Eddie should be joining us. Oh, Eddie's already here. Dope. So before Eddie comes up, he thinks he's just gonna come in here and run this. Before Eddie comes up, I want to do a brief introduction of Mr. Eddie Maalouf. A lot of you guys already know him. Actually, most of the people in the Discord right now have probably been to his agency founders event that he throws on at the beginning of the year. So a lot of you guys already know Eddie, but the CEO, founder of 4 Media Marketing, the author of the infamous secret agency letters, or agency secret letters rather. We're super stoked to have him here today. Dude is like Mr. Entrepreneur, just has so much going. Multiple agencies, e-com brands, cryptocurrency, I don't know. The dude does it all. It's wild. So let's bring him up. Love to say that wasn't even a very good introduction, but I'm rolling with it. What's up, buddy?
That was pretty poor. That was on the bottom of my list of intros.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
Can we do video on this or no? Is it just speech?
So this is just going to be speech on here. I'm working on something called, it lets you like co-host a stream with someone. And like co-stream. I think that might be the name of it, co-stream. But I'm working on getting that up, and we will do like a live stream together at some point. I just didn't have enough time to prepare today. So we're up. We're live on YouTube right now on the live stream. So you guys, of course, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, Eddie, super grateful that you were able to come on at such short notice. This was kind of like last minute, so I apologize if there's not a ton of people here today, but hey, we'll bring value for the people that are in the room.
Oh, good, bro. When there's less people, we bring more value quicker, you know.
Yep, exactly.
More defined questions.
Yeah, man, 100%. So I was thinking maybe like if you're cool with it, like you and I can jam on some Q&A for a quick second. I've got a couple questions that I would love to ask, and then we can kind of open it up to the room. How much time you got?
I got, let's call it 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay. Can we
do a lot in 30, or do we need more than that?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, but we're playing on your time, you know. So let's go ahead and do 30 minutes, and we'll kind of go from there. Sound good?
Deal.
Sweet. All right, cool. I'll take up like 10 minutes for Q&A. So right now, the world is kind of like in this kind of like almost like recessionary period. Like that's what it kind of feels like. I've seen it across a lot of different agencies over the last couple of months of agencies starting to suffer from a little bit higher churn rate, especially in the e-com industry. I've seen it across large agency. I've seen it across smaller agencies. What are you doing to kind of mitigate some of this? I know you covered some of it in the agency secret letters, but you know, what are you doing right now to mitigate some of these churn issues?
I would say first thing, you need to ask yourself and ask your team, would I pay if I was a company and this is what we were doing as a service and this is the results that we had, would I pay this price for our service?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very important thing, and that is what's going to cause a lot of people to fall off, is they don't really ask themselves that question. And we think that our product is always perfect, and in a time like this, it's not that people aren't going to hire agency owners. They're just going to hire a certain kind of agency owner, and anyone that doesn't take their delivery of their service or product seriously as if it's their own company, they're going to get trimmed off 100%.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to at the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%.
But
and
let me tell you this. The real answer is, and you're going to hate this answer. I know you are.
You think I'm going to hate it? I'm not even an agency owner.
No, I know, but I know you're gonna hate this answer that I'm about to give. It's close more.
Okay.
Right now, more than ever, you need to close more people right now.
Yeah.
More than ever.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think you could do on? So, obviously like we try not to be reactionary to clients leaving, of like, someone tells us that they're leaving and they're like, oh shoot, like, what can we do to like save them? What can we be doing before they decide to leave? Like, what are some steps you and your team are taking right now to say, hey, like, we're in this thing to like freaking together, like, we'll make it through, this tough period of time. Like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys talking to your clients about? Are you guys doing like education? Like, what's happening with client comms right now? Has that changed at all?
Yeah, it's funny that you're it's funny that you're asking me as if like you wrote my agency letters this month, because I wrote something about this. So basically what we're doing is we're sending a lot more client feedback surveys right now, more than we have in the past. In the past, we've been kind of scared to send feedback surveys, like ones where they actually fill them out without being on a call, just because, it might bring to attention problems that caused them to leave because there were problems. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
We've been scared to do that. We've been doing that a lot more. And we've also reached out and, offered people free services that we also do that could help the company as a whole in times like this, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
I think both of those is definitely where we're focused.
And I think you guys covered that in the last agency secret letters, was like, you're offering additional services on top of other services. And something cool that you pointed out in the last agency secret letters is like, one of your clients is like, hey, like we're actually doing fine right now. We'll actually add this service and you can charge us for it.
Yeah, love it.
So cool, man. That's awesome. Thanks for answering that. How's the team dynamic right now? You kind of went from, a smaller 7 to 10 person team to what it feels like is now like 60-ish plus, right?
85.
Yeah. What, like, crazy? Like what has been like the big shift on the team side? Like, how are you keeping, culture in alignment? How is everyone like rowing the same direction right now? Because most of us haven't seen the size of an agency before. At the peak, I think we had 28 people in my agency. And that was tough. And we were all in-house, and that was hard to keep everyone aligned. How are you doing that? You're on multiple continents now. How are you keeping everyone aligned?
Once a month, I have like an all hands in call. We used to do it weekly. Now we're doing it monthly. And I actually come with my own presentation. And I reiterate company vision in 3 years and end of the year. So I'm always like, okay, by the end of the year, here's where we're expected to be. Here's how close we are to getting there. And in 3 years, this is the company that we have. And here are our core values. And I want to reiterate them again to everyone to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yep.
And all my team leads, when they start a meeting on Monday, their first thing that they cover is, hey, let's go over our core values real quick, make sure we're all on the same page. It sounds really stupid, because when I first paid you to come learn from you guys in Nashville, that was something that you spent like 3 hours on with me.
Yep.
And I was like, what is this dork telling me core values for? I didn't pay you guys this much money to come learn core values.
Yeah.
But it's super important. Now I understand.
Yeah, it's still the first thing that we teach in all of our program material, is like vision, core values, like getting team alignment, team buy-in before anything else. So glad that you guys are still spearheading it that way. I got one more question, and then we'll kind of open up the floor up for Q&A, because I know you got limited time today. Just entered into fatherhood recently. What has been the largest change for you in the past couple of months since having a baby girl? Of like, what are some things that you're seeing on your side of like habits that you've changed, or decisions you're making? Like, what have been some of the bigger changes?
I'm working out more in the morning. That's very important, because that is the time that my daughter and wife are asleep. And when I work out at night, I get home so late that I see my daughter for like 45 minutes and she sleeps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is pretty rough. So that's been like a bigger motivating factor. Not that I like hit it every morning, but I try to get at least like 4 mornings a week. Because that's my strong suit is not waking up early. It's staying up late, sadly.
Yeah. I'm the complete
Yeah.
opposite. I'm such a morning person.
No, I know, bro. You post shit and it's like 5 a.m. You're at the office. You're in the elevator. I'm like, bro, like I'm like still in the toilet. Josh, relax.
You know what it comes from is my the fitness background. Just having to wake up early all the time. It's like my internal clock just doesn't work any other way now.
Yeah, no, I love that. And now my internal clock's starting to shift to like, no matter what, I'm waking up at 6. Even if I'm so tired and I go back to sleep, I'm naturally waking up at 6.
Yeah,
So
I love that.
that's cool to see. But that's one big shift that's definitely happened. Having a kid. Two, I work from home a little bit more than I normally used to, which I think most people here are work from home anyways. So I've been throwing in a few work from home days randomly to be there with my wife.
Nice.
But honestly, bro, my wife is so amazing, and you know my wife personally, and she has done her best to give her all so that I don't have to change the business side and my business commitment because we have a daughter. I only have to change what I need to be able to see her more for myself, not necessarily for her, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we all know Terry's a beast. She's awesome.
Yeah, it's an important part, dude. Like, don't have a kid with someone you don't think can just like carry that part.
100%. Cool, man. Well, appreciate you answering those questions. Let's open up for some Q&A, guys. If you guys want to come up and chat, let me know.
Proxy
All
right.
Let's bring up Mr. Proxy 1.
What's the real name?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
Hello?
Hey.
How are you guys?
Good. How about you? Welcome.
Good, Habibi, good. I've been following the two of you guys. Eddie, I'm also Lebanese descent. And I just gotta say, man, like, you and Errol, bro, and Joshi, all you guys are, like, killing it, bro. Like, straight up, huge inspiration. So...
Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.
What can we help you with?
So I spoke with Josh about this like not too long ago, but like we're starting a digital marketing agency in Canada, and right now like we're focusing really on like niche driven local businesses, and we've come across a problem. So our structure is we have basically we charge people a retention per month, and then we take a percentage from the revenue that we generate them. That's after then what they weren't able to scale, if that makes sense. So basically, if they were stuck at $20,000 a month, whatever we generate them above the $20,000 a month, we take a 10% commission fee type of thing. So right now we're coming through like an issue with one of our clients where they're starting to look for other agencies. But the thing is, we're delivering results for them. Like we're generating over 150 leads a month, and we've like in the first month of working for them, we generated them 120,000 in lifetime value. And so I was just wondering, like, what would you do if you were in my shoes right now? Would you switch to just like a flat rate structure type of thing, or would you keep that 10% commission structure?
I mean, are they leaving because of the 10%, or what? Like, what's the real reason?
Well, from the looks of it, like that's the reason why. Like, so it's like a new business. So they're a new medical spa that just opened recently, and they were generating 20K a month. And then the first month of hiring us, we generated them 50K a month. But then obviously we have their clientele are coming back once for the next 6 months, if that makes sense, because of the treatments
so 6 times over the next 6 months, basically.
Yeah, so each client's LTV is $3,000, basically.
Yeah.
And so like the reason why we position it where we take a percentage from the revenue we generate them is because like it incentivizes us to grow our agency, one, and then second of all, it also incentivizes us to help us make more money, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Look, personally, I'm a big fan of retainers. This is just my style.
Yeah.
I don't even do percent unless it comes with a retainer because retainers are predictable.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're doing a retainer plus percentage.
Okay, I got you. And so the only reason he's leaving is because the percentage?
Yeah, like they're starting to look at other agencies because they're looking for more services like SEO. And right now, because we're so new, we're really just focused mainly on like content creation and Facebook ads. But we're generating them like a lot of money, man. Like so many leads. We got like 6 bookings a day, $250 ad spend daily.
Okay, so go find someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't you have a case study right now?
Okay. Yeah, because that's what we're trying to.
What do they do? What do they sell again?
So they're in the medical aesthetics industry.
Okay,
so they do Botox.
Call like 500 other Botox places all over the US and Canada and get like 30 clients to like this month.
Okay.
No, I'm serious, you know?
All right.
Don't overcomplicate it. Look, let me give you an example here. This is something I haven't shared publicly. I had business partners that basically stole from me when I had a child. They basically stole $330,000 and walked away. No, it's okay. It's life. I learned a lesson. So they walked away with that. I had two options. As I dwelled on it for an entire month, my attorneys told me we take them to court. My attorneys told me this. By the way, these people like moved to another state. Like it's just a very complex process. I really thought to myself, I said, do I do all this and spend my next couple years or 1 year, whatever it is, playing defense, meaning chasing what could be or what was or whatever that is, you get what I'm saying? And I do so with a lot of negativity in my life, you know, a lot of just weight, you know what I mean? Or do I let go of it? And again, I'm in a position to do so. This is obviously an extreme example, but I want you to understand how my brain operates. Or if I let go of this and I let it off my chest and my weight and I don't chase this and I go and put all my energy towards positive things that grow the business, that grow me financially, would I be able to make that $330,000 faster for myself and happier than going backwards and chasing that down? And you need to kind of play the same game with this client. Dude, I already know this works for this kind of person. Why don't I just go message 500 other ones and tell them I can do this for them, set up the same exact deal that this guy hates, and sign up 30 other people, and now I don't need this person anymore. This isn't the person you want to work with in the first place, bro. If someone can't appreciate that you're doing good work, if you're actually doing good work, this isn't someone that you want to talk to like that. You know, this isn't someone that you want your monthly livelihood and your paycheck to depend on. So you just need to like get off this client by replacing it with other better ones.
100%. Yeah, because my partner also, like, we have the exact same mentality. And like the funniest part too is that like they were our first client too. And so like that's why I kind of feel offended, because I have access to everything they have, like their info email, and like every day I get an email that's from another marketing company for another quote. But I guess like my second question would be like we're trying to expand obviously, and we want to offer other services like which is like SEO and stuff like that. But we've found it really difficult to find the right employees for, you know, like the right price, if that makes sense. Where would you start when it comes to
it doesn't make sense,
employees?
because I used to think the same way. That's not the problem. The problem is you don't make enough money to hire the right employees. No, I'm serious. This is like right. I had to accept this at one point too. You know what I mean? I'm like, where are all these people, bro?
Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh well, duh. I wouldn't hire I wouldn't get hired for this price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, think about yourself, bro. Once you start paying a little bit more, it's not even that much more, a little bit more, the quality just goes up like crazy. Like, bro, I have like 30 agency owners in my inbox who all want to leave their agency and just come work for us. And it's just because a little bit more. That's all it was. A little bit more was the threshold of where they're down to leave for. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so just you got to understand that it's not that you can't find the right people at the right price. It's because it's that you don't have enough clients paying you enough money to make it worth you paying those people to come work for you.
Yeah, 100%. You're actually like, it's as if you have access to our bank account or something. Like,
It's as if I've been there before, you know?
yeah, it's that stage because you know what's crazy, bro? Is I was actually listening to your guys' podcast, you and Joshi, where you're talking about like how to make your agency like $1 million. I forgot the headline of the podcast, but I remember you guys both mentioning how like the hardest part was the first part, which basically is where I am right now. And like honestly, man, like you don't understand how much like that made me feel so much better. Like, so thank you guys, honestly.
Of course, bro.
Of course, man. And I
So
just
what are
want
you gonna do?
Oh.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
No,
go.
you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what are you gonna do after this?
I'm gonna freaking go start right now cold calling a bunch of businesses in my area and if anything around the nation too. So, and then
If you're gonna start with your area, you need to say, hey, listen, I have a ton of med spa or whatever it is, right? I have a ton of med spa appointments that have already kind of requested bookings in this area, but there's way too much and I need to send them somewhere else. Like, can you guys handle a ton more business, or is that not where I should send them? And then they'll say, yeah, of course we can. Where can we find these leads? How does it work? And you say, cool, let's get on a call and I'll kind of explain. I saw your reviews online. It looks like you do good work. And I want to make sure all these people that are wanting appointments go to a place that actually can service them well and have a good experience. And now you're in charge.
Awesome. And then like just like sign up with like as a client and like as a partner basically.
Yeah. Just go back to the normal process at that point. But like, you know, that'll catch their attention.
Wow, that's actually a really good way to engage for sure.
Josh, what were you saying?
Thank you so much.
So I was just going to drop a little note on like the rev share model. I've seen rev share models in a couple different agencies now, and they just, to me, like they've never panned out for a couple different reasons. One, collections is just a massive pain in the ass of like tracking down P&Ls and being like, hey, like we got to get down for a financial review and, you know, look at revenue numbers or profit numbers, whatever it might be. Sometimes revenue doesn't necessarily mean that they made a profit either. So it's just really hard to sometimes track all of that information down and get paid when you want to get paid. And then on the retainer side as well, you know, for us, like one of the most powerful things that we've done, and depending on the types of clients that you're working for, and it sounds like you're in, you know, in the lead gen space for the most part, but just being able to collect credit card authorization or ACH authorization, put them on some sort of auto bill every 30 days, they get billed for the remainder of their contract. Like if I was doing a lead gen agency today, it would be retainer, it'd be auto bill, it's every 30 days, and it comes in like clockwork. The only thing you have to take care of is if a payment gets declined for any reason, then you have to reach out, but no chasing down invoices, nothing like that. It's like everything is on auto bill and it's clockwork, it's predictable, and then from there you go 90-day commitments to like get their foot through the door, try it before you buy it type deal, and then after that try to expand into 6 or 12-month agreements, once again for that predictability, and that it will help you have some more peace of mind when you go to like hire media buyers, hire, you know, Google specialists, whatever it might be. So that's just my little recommendation on the retainer side.
Awesome.
Move away from the rev share.
Is there any type of like software that you would recommend for like getting like the auto pay?
Stripe.
Just use Stripe, just as simple as that.
Little subscription. Yep. Subscription payments. It's the easiest way to do it. But when you have them sign an agreement with you, you have to include a credit card authorization or an ACH authorization, which we just take credit card. We don't even really do ACH. So like I want it as convenient as possible, because if I like in the lead gen space, you're going to be able to probably one call close a lot of these guys. And so if I have them like ready to roll, I want it to be convenient. So like I'll pay the credit card fee, I'll pay, you know, the Stripe fee for the convenience of getting them signed up quickly, because as you know, time will kill deals. And so we want to get them, paid and signed as soon as we possibly can. And so that's why, you know, we just go credit card, get them on an authorization form, and then we get them on auto pay.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Like, I guess so. Like when you're saying that, so like for the retention side of things, like if we do keep that model where we're doing retention and percentage, like would you like say the retention should be less than what it would be if it's just a flat rate retention instead of the revenue, or would you just say if it's the exact same price type of thing? Do you know what I'm trying to ask there?
I mean, so what are you charging for the service again?
So Facebook ad management, like we do $1,000 a month for one campaign.
Yep. Okay.
And
yeah,
then,
I would bump it up. I mean, once again, I don't know the all of the data behind your business and what it costs for you to carry out the service, but you know, I would say on average, most lead gen agencies, you know, on the low end are charging $2,000, so you're like below that threshold, and on the high end are charging $3,500 to $4,000. So if you can find that sweet spot of like $2,500 retainer, and it also depends on, you know, on your clientele. You have to know what they're kind of willing to spend and find that sweet spot. But once again, depends what it takes to carry out your service. Depends on your avatar, what they're willing to pay. But I promise you, these med spas probably have more than $1,000 to throw at some lead gen, especially if you're bringing them, you know, more than that in return.
Exactly.
Right?
100%.
Because they have lifetime value as well with their clients. Because chances are if they go once, they'll go again.
100%. Yeah. And like we found it crazy because we spent $2,500 in ad spend and generated 120,000 in LTV, like, which is nuts. Like, we were going crazy about that. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would just charge a flat retainer. For me, like, simplicity scales. And so the most simple thing you can do is charge a retainer, put it on an auto pay, automatic every 30 days it hits. You're rocking and rolling, and you're on to your next deal.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much, guys. Honestly, Habibi, Eddie, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm always here for these therapy sessions, honestly, and I look forward to them every Thursday. So
let's go, man. We'll see you back soon.
For sure. Okay, have a great rest of your day, guys.
Thanks, bro. See ya.
Goodbye.
Eddie, I want to be respectful of your time. If you have to jump, feel
No,
free.
I got 5 more minutes.
Okay, cool.
I had till 35.
Dope. Did you want to talk to Oz?
I was just saying hi to him. That's all.
Oh, okay.
I see JK.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Big sexy with the flow.
Big sexy with the DJ radio voice. All right, crew. Other questions? Michael, Justin, Oz, come hang.
What are you saying, Josh? And your agency owners, what are the biggest problems that everyone's facing right now?
Yeah, just a little. There's a little fear right now. Just losing clients. I would say a lot of people have lost clients in the past 2 months. So we are seeing a little bit higher churn rate. You know, when it comes to, I guess, like on the lead gen side, things that are working for people right now, dude, like a couple of my guys are dominating the Twitter game right now. It's absolutely wild. You know, it's crazy because I'm getting into it more and more. I'm starting to land clients from it, but Twitter has been like this, I don't know, like this place that magically clients come from now. And so we've been seeing a lot of people lean into Twitter. The guys that soar with us, Ali and Joe, they crush it on Twitter, and they've been leaning hard into that organically. As far as, I don't know, what else are you kind of looking for there?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I'm just trying to figure out, I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of fear in the marketplace. What are people trying to do to combat that? You know what I mean? I was pretty afraid for 45 days.
Sure.
And then I was like, mama ain't raised no bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
and that was really the shift in my head. I'm like, wait, I don't care about this stupid recession.
We're pushing heavy education right now. So for us, it's like I posted a reel a couple weeks back that said, like, hey, agency owners, like, you need to be making more content around like how to educate your clients around becoming recession proof, right? And so like we've been pushing education to our agencies, saying, agencies, you need to be taking the same education and bringing it to your clients of like, this isn't the time to play defense. Like during recessions, marketing budgets are often first thing cut, and it's like, well, why would you cut the thing that's bringing in your revenue, right? It's like counterintuitive. And so we're just trying to educate them to educate their clients. And like outside of that, I mean, there's really not much else we can do. Like we try to preach on client success quite a bit. This is a conversation I had with Austin Schneider earlier this week of like, dude, like we try to build advocates. We want it to be like painful for people to leave because they truly do love us as a service provider, and like they don't want to leave us because like one, we do a great job and deliver great results, but the second thing is like we're good people, right? And like we truly care about their business. And so when they have a good idea, like I was telling them about, we had a client the other day get in a car accident, and he's totally fine, by the way. And he was like, yeah, he's like, my neck's sore, my back's sore, just not feeling 100% today on one of our consulting calls. And after the consulting call, we sent him like $150 massage gift card to a massage place like close by to him. Like that's the little stuff. Like you want to keep clients for 12 to 24 months. Those are the little things that we're doing in order to like up our client success. And like we're always listening, trying to figure out like, hey, like how can we support this client? How can we make this client feel like they're the only person that we serve?
I love it. And what are some cost effective ways that you're seeing people acquire clients right now without having to spend money on ads?
Yeah, 100%. So organic, man. It's funny because you see like Nick Terrio as like this perfect example of someone that's absolutely dominating for, it's trading time for leads, right? Is essentially what he's doing right now. With time creating videos, and he creates 3 YouTube videos a week. He batches them on Friday, creates all of them, and then he just, posts them throughout the week. And those 3 YouTube videos over, he's been doing it for 2 years now, posting organically to YouTube. He's got, I think, like 8,500 subscribers, something like that. And he's now consistently pulling leads every single week through his YouTube channel, and is landing e-com clients pretty regularly through that. Now, a little bit smaller agency model that Nick is running. He's not like a massive agency, but like he's kind of picking and choosing the clients that he wants to work with and charging the retainers that he wants and running a pretty lean team. And from what I've seen, it's a pretty stress-free type environment that he's in right now, because his clients have a lot of trust with him, because he's kind of positioned himself as this market leader in the e-com space. And so he's been doing really well on that. Really cheap. You're trading time, right? Time for money. After that, cheaper lead sources. E-com, it's hard to do cold, man. And the reason that it's hard to do cold is because guys your size, Eddie, like you guys have a minimum retainer that you guys are wanting to work on. And so, as you know, agencies are very collaborative. Well, so are e-com brands. E-com brands do masterminds, and e-com brands talk to one another. And so when someone like Josh Snow is like, hey, we're looking for a new ad buying agency, a new creative agency, who he's not opening up a cold DM or a cold email and saying, yeah, like, Eddie, thanks for the cold DM, I'm going to go with you now. No, he's going to go to Los, he's going to go to people in his network and say, hey, who's crushing it right now? Who's doing well? Like, we need new creative, we need new ads, whatever it is. And those referrals are how, the big dogs are getting landed. So affiliate programs are great. Always give very healthy kickbacks. Even if people are like, no, I don't want like an affiliate kickback. Like I don't want 10% of the initial contract. Give it to them anyway. Or do something even better of like know who that person is. Like Josh Snow, for example. Figure out who his favorite sports team is. Send him a signed jersey of his favorite player. I don't know Josh very well, but figure out like the things that he truly likes in life, and go and like get him something. Like the dude has like, I don't know, a pretty dope watch collection, and like if like for us, like if this dude's bringing me hundreds of thousands of dollars in new clients every month, bro, like let's get him a 5K watch or something, because he's like, that's the kind of stuff he's like, okay, cool, like I'm gonna keep referring stuff, and you stay top of mind with those people. So affiliates, super strong. Even if people don't want those kickbacks, give it to them anyway, either cash or simply like a very thoughtful gift to them. Trying to think what else. Some of like the low hanging fruit. I mean, a lot of it you probably know about already. Existing clients, expanding the revenue. Yeah.
These people, everyone here knows about it, but who's actually doing it?
Very few. I mean, it's not top of mind, right?
It's definitely not top of mind for like almost everyone. That's the problem.
Yeah,
It's like people are focusing on so many other things.
and this is my advantage, is that I get to see so many people, so many agencies in the space, that I'm like, okay, like, what are you doing? And so, like, I get to talk with the dudes in, like, the UK. I get to talk with dudes in Finland and Germany and Australia, and, like, I get to see their strategies and what they're doing and, like, what's working right now. That's why I love, like, what we're doing right now, because, like, dude, like, we have the inside scoop on a lot of effective strategies that are currently working. I'll tell you what's working extremely well for us right now is a freaking two-step on Twitter. Free resource. We've been pushing that stupid agency. It's not stupid, it's awesome. The agency impact planner for a couple months now. We've collected over 1,000 emails, agency owner emails from that agency impact planner, straight organic. I think we've maybe pushed like $25 in spend behind like a promoted crazy Twitter post, right? Really crazy. Yeah, and so now we have like this awesome list of agency owners. We're nurturing them, sending them weekly content, getting them in our, in our newsletter. Nicholas wrote like 4 months worth of content today for our newsletter. Those are the things that we're pushing on right now. And I don't like, some of these old strategies are starting to work again of like, hey, here's the resource. This is how it's powerful. This is who it helps. And if you want it, click this link and download it. You just have to exchange your name, email, and you can get the free download. And we just put them on a landing page and we just start nurturing them.
I love it, bro. That's insane. 1,000 agency owner emails. That's why it's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it's very defined.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure not all of them are agency owners.
But a majority, let's say, more than half.
Yeah. Oh, more than half for sure. Yeah, because I mean that's my entire audience on Twitter is agency owners. I'm sure there's some e-com people sprinkled in there as well, but the free resource game, who really taught me that one was Traffic and Funnels. Traffic and Funnels has like all of the little offers here and there. Like they've got a lot of free stuff. They got $27, $47, $197 type offers, and it's like, dude, they just collect names, and then they kind of like what the big goal behind that is, you build such a big list. Like I think when I talked to Chris Evans, or like when Chris Evans was talking about this in a mastermind, he's like, yeah, like we have an email list of like about 80,000 entrepreneurs. And I'm just like, what? And so what they do is they have a setter team, and they just, they're constantly just outreach, nurture. And then eventually, those people are like, all right, cool. Like I've gotten enough value from these guys. Let's see what it's like to get in their program.
I love that, bro. I think people are sleeping on this advice that you're giving right now. It's a lot more important.
Well, and here's the thing, dude. The thing about this type of advice, it takes time. It's boring as shit. It's not fun. Like it kind of gives you that like little mental headache because like, oh, I gotta like extract a resource from my brain that is actually going to be helpful for people. Like that takes time, effort. And like if you can master some of this boring work, like you just, in my opinion, you just don't lose in the agency industry. And so that's like what we're trying to like make our agency owners realize is like, be masterful at the boring shit, the stuff that like no one else wants to do. That's normally the stuff that's gonna get you ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I hope people actually take this very seriously and go and try to implement these things, especially like the free organic side of things, to collect a list and actually manage it. I think people are really sleepy on that. Dude, and where it's going to take them.
Oh man, I wish I would have started doing an email list when I first started the consultancy. Like just
that's my biggest regret too.
Once a week, man. Just once a week, send out an email to the list and like just provide value. And then once a quarter, maybe twice a quarter, throw a little call to action in there. Like, hey guys, like hope you're enjoying the content. We have a live workshop coming up, or hey, like if you guys want to book a call with us, and we can do like a free agency audit for you, and for you guys, it could be like a free e-com marketing audit, right? It's like every once in a while you just got to sprinkle one of those in, and you'll get 5-6 book calls just from that.
Yeah, agreed. Well, Josh, it was a pleasure being on here, bro. And
I appreciate you, bro. We'll have you back soon.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for everyone who took the time here out of their day and listened in on us talking. I appreciate you guys.
Peace, brother.
That's it.
boys, let's open it up for a little bit more Q&A if you guys have it. If not, that's all I've got today. That would be the end of agency therapy. So, Prox, let's bring you up, dude. Happy to answer a few more questions. Yo.
We're back. I'm back again.
Back in action, baby.
You don't understand. I have a huge smile on my face, man. I love this Discord like crazy.
I love it, man.
But yeah, man. No, I guess like some questions that I had was like, I remember you talking about like when you first started your agency. Was it the Wellington Media?
Yeah, Welling Media.
Welling Media, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I remember how you mentioned that you had one person with you, and then a year later you guys hired 20 people. Like in that journey, what was the most difficult part?
Yeah, I would say we were just so young in the agency space. We had never ran an agency before, so it was a model that we just weren't super familiar with at scale. And for us, like we got good mentorship, but there was just a lot of things that we had to work through in order to like run an effective agency, because we had never run one before. Like really, this was like the first business that we were truly all in on and could actually like sink some time into, and like actually had a potential to go very far, right? And so for us, like I guess like some of the mistakes that we made early on, and it was not really mistakes, it was just ignorance, right? Was really around like first like our niche positioning. Very early on, we just took on kind of too many types of clients. Eventually we got a lot more niche and kind of figured out like, hey, e-commerce brands, but like health, beauty, supplements, like fitness brands, like stuff like that was like kind of like in our wheelhouse. Whereas in like there were a lot of brands that we would take on that weren't necessarily in our wheelhouse, and we had just had a really hard time marketing. So they were like, I wish we would have figured that out a little bit earlier. The team structure is something that took us a very long time to figure out. So we eventually moved to what we call pod structure, and you see a lot of agencies now moving to this. Eddie wrote about it in his Agency Secret Letters. Nick Shackelford, if you've seen him speak over the last year or so, you'll notice that in one of his talks that his team has now moved to a pod structure. I wish we would have figured out this pod structure a little bit earlier, because it allows you to duplicate your teams across multiple like whatever you're fulfilling on. Like you can duplicate your team multiple times, and you can have a good understanding of your revenue thresholds, how much profit each of these pods will make you. And so you understand at what time you need to bring on a new pod. You have a good understanding of how much profit it's going to make you, and it makes you feel a lot more secure versus just kind of like shooting from the hip and like, okay, like I think we need a new creative strategist, or hey, I think we need a new media buyer. It is very what I'm like almost like scientific. Of it's measurable, it's consistent, you know what you're getting out of each pod, and you can have like SOPs directly for each of these pods and how they work, and you can duplicate that multiple times, and it really makes your business scalable to a point like it's up to your sales team and your marketing team at that point to make sure you have enough deal flow coming in to fill those pods with work.
Interesting. Wow, that's a really nice take, actually. I did not consider that at all.
Yeah, so
thanks for sharing.
And an easy way to do this is just building out like an org structure just a little early. So start obviously with an org structure with you and whoever's partner in your business, and then build out like the positions that you need within your organization, whether that's a media buyer, a copywriter, whatever it might be. You'll need to build out like what you need to fulfill on your service, and then start understanding the metrics behind that pod. Okay, so how much time are they putting into current clients? How many clients can this pod actually handle? Like how many hours can they work, right? And how does that translate to how many clients that they can do? So like one pod might be able to support 15 clients. Okay, so across 15 clients, if you're if they're paying you we'll say like round number 10K, right? If they're paying you 10K, you know that you're generating $150,000 across one pod, right?
Wow.
And so from there you can figure out, okay, well, across this one pod, we can measure our time against that $150,000, and we have a really good estimate of what our profit margin is going to be for this one pod, and we know how profitable. Say it's a 60% profit margin, and that would be like more like a gross margin, right? Not something that falls straight to the bottom line. And so, how much of that, or how much margin do we actually have to play with here in order to like kind of start the second team, right? And so it allows you to duplicate that and be like, okay, cool, like we'll start another pod we know can support another $150,000 in revenue, right? And so you can continue, and it makes it very predictable when you need to hire people, you know, exactly how much money is going to be coming through the door for these 3 new employees that you need, right? So there's a little bit more to it, but that's kind of the main gist.
The pod is like a podcast, right?
No.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay.
You're good. No worries. So pod structure would be like employees in your company, right? And so, for example, and the best terms that I can kind of put it in is if you had like a creative team, right? You would have someone that would be like a production specialist, right? So someone that gets behind the camera, shoots the content. Okay, so that's one person in your pod. The second person in your pod might be a creative strategist, right? Someone that understands a lot of the brands, the avatars, builds out the creative briefs for the production person to go and actually shoot the content. Okay, so you might have a creative strategist in there. You might have an account manager as well, someone that is client facing, talks to the client on a daily basis.
Makes sense.
You might have someone that edits the content, right? Post-production, okay? And that person, you know, once all of the video is shot, they have to go and edit it, okay? And so like those 4 positions make up one pod.
Okay.
And this is very like Silicon Valley. This is very like
terminology.
What's that?
Terminology, like Silicon Valley.
Yeah, like very Silicon Valley type terminology. And it's not like super new to the agency space, but normally you don't see it until like you don't hear people talking about it until they get a little bit larger, because they don't know how to duplicate their teams, right? They don't understand how to scale until they learn this structure.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, once you understand like, okay, these 4 people can generate me X amount of revenue, X amount of profit. I know that if my sales and lead gen team can produce this, right? So many leads, so many sales, we can fill up another pod of 4 people that can generate this much revenue and this much profit, right? And so it makes things way more systemized. It's very, very rhythmic, very systematic, and that's the positive thing about a pod structure. It's like a mini team within your team.
Wow, it's like duplicating a Facebook campaign, or something like that,
similar.
Basically.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
That's really, really dope, actually.
Yeah,
because like with that, like I think you're right 100%. Like that's where we're struggling at right now, is like finding those pods and finding the right people to fit in for those pods. And then like, because like I know like there's the implementation side of things, and like, did you guys ever struggle with like sending out a contract or making a contract or proposals? Because I think I heard you once say that you're not a fan of proposals. Is that right?
No, not a huge fan of proposals. It depends the industry that you're in. If you're in lead gen, no, I'm not a fan of proposals at all. If you're in ecom, ecom's a little different, and it depends the level that you're playing at. Some work does require proposals, right? And the one call close is sometimes not a thing when you get to the higher ticket numbers. But for you, no, I wouldn't be sending out any proposals. It would be like a one call close. I'd show them a demo deck of some sort, saying like, hey, this is our process, this is how it works, this is the timeline, here's the KPIs that we're going to be measuring against, here's how we work, here's communication standards. Do you have any last questions? Okay, what are the chances, scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you don't want to talk to me anymore, 10 being I'm ready to roll with the service. Where would you place yourself on this call? Like, is this something that you are looking to move forward with? Sweet, you're at 10. Here's the price point. This is here's the price point.
Makes sense.
What do you feel about this? Right? And they're like, sweet, this sounds great, or no, this doesn't sound great. Okay, cool. And then we go into objection handling, and either closes there, we follow up with them, and we close them and we start their onboarding right there, get them paid, agreement signed, or we move them into follow-up if they're not ready to move forward.
Makes sense. Yeah, very, very easy and simple, actually. That's the same strategy I used to use when I was working at at a software payroll company. So
Yeah, 100%.
very easy, and then you just close them right on the call, and you get that credit card form signed too. So
everything
makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Yeah, and you're like, in my opinion, you're just not like, you don't need to send out a proposal. It's like, it's not high ticket enough to send out a proposal.
Yeah, exactly. And then like the implementation side of things, how did you guys start with building the implementation side? Like, did you hire someone who's like good at implementing and creating that process, or how did you guys go about that?
Yeah, that was me, brother.
Really?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. So I was the chief operating officer of our agency. So built a lot of our systems, processes, a lot of the infrastructure around that. Was not good at it at all, actually. It took me a very long time. I would say like my second year is when I started to really come around and have a good understanding of like what it takes to run an operation and build systems and measure KPIs and things like that. And I feel like I fell into that position unprepared, and of course, like our CEO at the beginning, like, wasn't a CEO. He was a media buyer, right? Like, he was running media buying accounts. Me, I was doing social media management when I first started in the agency. So it's like we had like these glorified positions, but we truly didn't know what they meant and truly couldn't do them because there's no need for them yet, right? Like, we were just doing fulfillment work, and so those positions, they become more full and become more valuable as you scale a team.
100%. Do you have like anything, like a PDF that I can like buy from you, or anything with like that information about the implementation? Because I remember you said you had something. Sorry, cutting you off.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. No PDFs or anything. Most of like my free stuff is either like in the links of my bios, in YouTube, somewhere out there, in the ether. Everything else is currently in our programs. So like, obviously, we run a consultancy for agency owners. So we have two programs that we currently run, and if you ever want to chat on those, just let me know, and we can take a call at some point, and we can give you a little agency audit, and then if it's a good fit for you, see if it's a good fit to get you in our program. So
so it's all on your links on Twitter.
Yeah, you can find Twitter links, Instagram, wherever you go. I think it's my solo.to link should have all the information. So if you need to book a call with me, free resources, anything that we've like developed and like put out there for free will be there.
Man, thank you so much. You guys are honestly changing lives and making everyone's life so much easier. Like, I don't think you guys notice that. So
I appreciate it, man.
Just wanted to throw some appreciation on you. So
thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You can call me Fuad. My name is Fuad.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the random name there, but
that's okay.
Yeah, I follow you. I like all your shit all the time, and I'm here for it. So
all right, brother.
supporting all the time. Thank you so much, Josh. I appreciate it, man.
Of course, brother. We'll talk soon.
Have a great rest of your day, okay?
You too, man. We'll talk soon.
Take care, brother. Bye.
All right, Michael, Oz. What's up, Foz? Good to see you, buddy. You should come up here and chat with me for a second. Hey, yo. You got it figured out. Dude, we were just talking about you.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Now I feel more important than I am now. Were you guys?
No, we were talking about client success, and the question was like, what are some things that you're doing with client success? And I was like, a lot of times it's not so much like something that's planned out. It's something that's more in the moment, right? Like when you notice something, like when people hit milestones, like when you got in your car accident. It's like little things like that that tend to go the furthest because it's in the moment, and it's like you're recognizing them in the moment versus like something that's planned out. And like 3 months working with us and you get like a gift. No, it's like let's go ahead and give them like stuff for like hitting milestones. Let's go ahead and give them stuff like, hey, like you had a horrible day, you got in a car accident. Like, yeah, let's like freaking get them a massage or something. That's, in my opinion, like that's client success. Like it's not so much of like stuff that's planned, it's more stuff that's in the moment and a little bit more intuitive to the situation.
100%. I've been here, that's a great, let's talk about, rip a question off that. One thing, so like we do that a lot. We do a lot with like edible arrangements. Like if something, if something like that happens, but you got in a car accident, family member died, whatever, like we hear about some things, like we'll often do that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I'm running to recently, like our marketing coaches will assign it to like my EA and she'll go through and order it and whatever. And she brought it to me because she was like, yo, I'm sending out like $800 in edible arrangements today. Cause like they're expensive, like $100 a pop. Like I get it. And she was like, hey, I just like want to check on this. And I was like, okay, like it's fine on this, but like we should probably look into like some cheaper alternatives. Sure. I don't know, like at scale, like is that something, I don't know, just like thoughts on that. I feel like you could take it a couple different directions. Like we need a cheaper alternative, like some bakery goods or something. Sure. We need to be less frequent with the cadence we send them out in, have harsher rules for them or something. There's got to be some sort of answer.
So what I would do is like, okay, what's the reason that we're sending them out? Right? Like, is everyone just having a shit day, or what's the reason that these edible arrangements are going out? Right? That would be like the first question I would ask. And make like guidelines, like, and of course, like we want our team to have the freedom to like be able to like do these things just intuitively, but like it has to make sense, right? Like we just don't send edible arrangements for like random ass reasons. Like sure, if someone's family member dies or something, sure, like I totally understand that. But you're telling me like $800 worth of family members died, like what, like 6-7 people?
Yeah, or we'll do it for like I think sometimes we'll do it for the opposite too, where it's like, oh, they got married or something. Okay, cool. Like we sent like, I don't know, edible arrangements then to be the go-to.
Yeah, of course. And like, I think there's this balance, right? Of like what dictates, a cool gift or whatever. And, for me, like, I probably wouldn't send anything if like someone got married, death in the family, definitely would probably send something. But for me, like, I want it to be very meaningful, and I don't want to like shit on your gift or anything, but to me, like an edible arrangement just isn't meaningful. And the only reason that I say that is because it's like that's what the expectation of, like, if I'm gonna get a gift for my wedding, or if I'm gonna get a gift because my family member died or something, like I would expect an edible arrangement, right? And it seems like the safe thing to do. Now let me give you another example.
True.
Say Michael Schreiber, who's in this call right now.
Good guy. Good guy right there.
Great guy, that Michael. Say he hit like a really cool milestone in his business. Say I'll give you 2 examples. So this first one is milestone, right? So he hits a new milestone in his business, has a killer month, closes $150,000 in new revenue. Dude, that's freaking awesome. We love that. Michael's been working with us for almost a year now. Actually, it's kind of wild. Actually 9 months. 9 months. So almost 10 months, right? And so he hits this new revenue threshold in his business. Well, I know that Michael likes the Colorado Avalanche, right? So maybe I just jump on eBay real quick, and at the end of the day, like, Michael has spent a decent chunk of change with us as a consultancy. I just jump on eBay real quick. I find a signed jersey by, I don't know, some random ass Avalanche player that's probably awful. And I send him a signed jersey from, or maybe I figure out, hey, who's your favorite Avalanche player? And I send him a signed jersey, right? Just a very nonchalant conversation about it, like, hey, dude, you excited for next season? Sweet. Who's like the really exciting players on Avalanche? Like, I don't even know the team very well. Like, kind of just make it nonchalant. He's like, yeah, I do like this player. I was like, cool. Like, which one do you like the most? Right? And it's like, this guy. And it's like, sweet. Like, I'm gonna go find like a signed jersey, signed hockey puck, because that shit is gonna hit you. Like, when that shows up at his door, he's going to be just absolutely out of his mind excited about something like that. Yeah. Versus me sending him an edible arrangement because he hit a milestone. Now, let me give you a 100%. Second. You're looking for things that pull emotion, right? So let me give you a second example. So Eddie Maalouf, one example. I don't really like to like share publicly when I give gifts to people, but it is a good it's good examples, right? So Eddie and Jordan Menard two clients of ours. Eddie just had a baby girl, and Jordan just also had a baby girl. And so I know that Eddie and Jordan, they enjoy, cool and nice things. And what we did is we actually sent them some baby Jordans. So we sent them both Air Jordans.
That's up.
Yeah, $100 for both of them. So like $50 a pair. And dude, like how cool is that? Like a pair of Jordans show up on your front door, little baby Jordans. Dude, Eddie and Terry were stoked. Jordan and his wife Taylor were stoked. Like they were so happy about it. Obviously I share that to like give you guys ideas of like what you guys can do to like have better client experience. Dude, I just built an advocate for life. Like, and really I built a friendship, right? And like those are things like you could pull on heartstrings doing that kind of stuff. And I think we do it because we care too.
Part with this, though, of course, I think the obvious part with this, like at least what I'm noticing as I think through our company, is like we have a handful of clients we could do that for, but not a bunch, because like that requires knowing the client at like that deep of a level, right? Which like sounds so freaking obvious, like duh, add a column and click up under the client profile. Yep. As far as like those types of notes and whatever, but it's like that does require like being intentional about like asking those sorts of things and getting to know the client on a more than just business level.
In my opinion, intentionality is part of everyone's job description. Right?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, hey, if I'm going to hire you as a client-facing position, you want to be like the Ritz-Carlton of agencies. You want to be the Disney of agencies. This is the expectation.
So here's a question. What are your thoughts on it in terms of milestones? Because I've been thinking about this a little bit in terms of like they hit a milestone, you have like some sort of award you send out. Yeah. I know like a lot of like coaching programs do that. Yeah, but it's like
ClickFunnels.
I've thought about, Yeah, exactly. Like cool. Like we had another painting company like that didn't start at the 7-figure run rate with us, like hit the 7-figure run rate, like send out like a plaque or like something like that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely, man. I think milestones are cool. Obviously you want it to be fun, fun for them. And like, this is something that ClickFunnels has done extremely well, and they've kind of championed is like those plaques, right? Like those plaques are really cool. YouTube, same thing. You get like the gold button or the silver button or whatever they send out, diamond, like stuff like that. So yeah, I think people like to be recognized for that.
Yeah. Well, when you say you should make it fun, like how would you go about that? Like, or unpack what you kind of meant by that.
Yeah. I guess an experience more than fun, right? So like if you're going to reward for milestones, like it would be really cool for it to be like a fun experience for that person to like get something, right? And so if you're going to get like an award or something, like it should be something extremely cool, like, like the YouTube play button or like a plaque, right? Like it shouldn't just be like some backyard baseball trophy.
Right. Okay, I feel that.
Yeah. So and it should be fun. It should have like some sort of like experience behind it. It should make them feel like, hey, like my hard work paid off.
100%. Yeah, I feel that. That's cool.
So, yeah, man. But that's kind of like the stuff that I've learned about client experience that's been the game changer.
Yeah. No, it's a good thing to think about. I think it's a gap for us in terms of like those little gifts. I think we do a really good job building the relationships and everything. But like I know a lot of people stay with us just because like they like us, right? Yeah. But it's just another way to take it another step, right? Yeah. I always think about it like this. Like one thing I'll often tell our marketing coaches, like when they find something little like that to go above and beyond or whatever, like little things like that, I'll often say like, you just bought yourself like 2 more months with that client. Yeah. Like if shit hits the fan, like they're going to remember that and stick around a little bit longer because of like how amazing this thing was and they remember this and whatever.
Yeah, of course. But it comes back to
what a great way to do that.
Yeah, it comes back to that one word, which is intentional, right?
For sure. And you shouldn't be doing it for that reason. But
yeah, of course. But it's like you do have to like intentionally be listening, and you have to intentionally like ask probing questions, like actually like learn stuff about your clients,
Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully that's helpful, bro.
Yeah, no, I think it was. It wasn't anything I had thought of.
I love it. Beautiful. Dropping gems over here.
Dropping bombs.
Yes, sir. What else on your mind, man? Anything?
I got a lot on my mind. I don't know, man. I've done a lot better at managing like my time and stuff. Like
That's
a
good.
lot better. But I feel like I still just don't have enough time.
Yeah, man. Of course. I mean, I think
it's
we
normal.
all feel like that. So it's just, you know, making sure you're making progress on the most important things every day. And even if it's a little bit, you know, you made a little bit of progress. Like the worst is like when you get to the end of the day, or like if this still happens to me sometimes, and you're like, dude, I didn't work on it. One thing that was actually important today. I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
More than anything. So it's like, that's why I think mornings are so important, of like just blocking off that time in the morning to get some deep work done. Turn off the phone, turn off the Slack notifications, get that deep work in, get like at least 2 hours. Get 2 hours of like the really important stuff in.
100%.
You know?
Yeah. I've time blocked my Slack responses now,
Yeah.
which has helped me so much.
Yeah, dude, game changer, right?
Yeah, and honestly, the team, it was like night and day. They immediately started solving each other's problems. Like, imagine that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's wild, man.
So, yeah.
Love it, dude. Well, let's see if anyone else has questions. Or if you have more questions, Eric, I'm happy to jam, even though we talk all the time. Which I'm all about it.
That was it.
I love our chats.
That was it.
Okay, cool. Oz, Daniel. Anyone else? Anyone else got questions today? Bring them up. I knew you'd have questions, Daniel. That's why I waited an extra second. What's
Yeah,
up, bro?
actually, we'll just say hi. How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Just wrapping up the day. I've had call after call today. So to give you a brief rundown of what my day has looked like, it was coaching call in the morning, and then immediately after that, went and shot content for a solid 3 hours. My boy Sammy G Fit, who is Taylor Welch, Ashton Shank's trainer, came over. We jammed for a little bit on fitness, on health, on we talked about addiction for a little bit, so that'll be in one of our future vlogs, which will be pretty cool. And then after that, hopped on with Mr. Austin Schneider, which is owner of an agency called Brantegic. Chatted with a group of agency owners that are in his agency program, and that was a ton of fun. And then after that, drove all the way back to Franklin and did agency therapy, and that kind of catches you up on the day.
Yeah, I was actually once you said that you did something after the 3 hours of shooting content, that's where you got me.
Oh, dude, it's after today, after this, I'm literally gonna go lay on the couch. It's gonna be great.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, I do have I do want to hear your take on how's the agency acquisition space going.
Yeah.
Around this time with all the recession talk.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, there's people still buying. So we've talked with a few agencies that are still buying, few larger VC funds that are still buying. So agency acquisitions are still happening. There was actually a huge agency acquisition pretty recently. If you guys are familiar with No Limit Creative, they were just acquired, which is pretty wild. So yes, agency acquisitions are still a go. There's plenty of money out there still, and I would say potentially on the VC side, you know, I think there'll be less VC funds coming up in the next couple of months of them trying to buy stuff, because I think they might try to wait this out and try to get some stuff cheap. So we'll see what kind of happens. I'm curious on what happens in the space, but from what I can see, people are still willing to buy, even right now. So
also with mergers, not VC.
On the merger side, I think people have a lot of hope for mergers, but oftentimes it's hard to come to a deal on the merger side because, as you know, and as you've seen, just, you know, people aren't willing to bend enough on the merger side. So haven't seen a whole lot of mergers. I think maybe like 1 or 2 partnerships in the past year that have happened, but nothing like really significant.
What do you mean by not willing to bend enough?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, one side wants one thing, the other side wants another thing. Like, you know, the agency thinks that they're, like the smaller agency thinks that, you know, they're valued at a higher spot than, you know, than what the buyer does. Buyer's trying to get a good deal. So it's just a lot of back and forth, and eventually the deal just goes dry.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next few months.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, plenty of opportunities, plenty of abundance out there. So, you know, for us, we just haven't seen a ton on the acquisition side, I would say, in the last couple of months. But there are some deals in the works. I think we'll see a few agencies get purchased here in probably the next 6 months. But more of like strategic acquisition versus an acquisition for, you know, cash flow potential.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah,
Sounds
man.
Good. Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, thanks for doing this session.
Of course, man. Yeah, go. I know you normally come in right around the 6 o'clock mark. So go back. We had Eddie Maalouf on today. He answered some questions for the first half hour. So go back and watch the beginning of the session on YouTube. It'll be pretty good.
Oh yeah, that will be amazing. I'll do that.
Awesome,
I just
brother.
woke up.
yeah, I know it's morning over there for you. So I appreciate you coming, brother.
Yeah.
Awesome,
All
guys.
right, cool, man. Thanks so much.
Of course. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for your time today. I'm gonna call it. I'm like just drained today. I love you guys. Much appreciation. Thanks for coming.